I like the way that Sho Baraka said this on an album a few years ago. He said, while you are teaching me history, why do you always have to start with slavery? Always keeping those chains on me. I want to make the argument that if you and I begin the exploration, rather, of Black church and Black Christianity with slavery, what we are actually doing is submitting to a kind of white intellectual force. One of the benefits of the Jude 3 project, and you can scale through the resources, is that there is a clear tracing of African people who were Christians, both from the western parts where a lot of the slave trade happened and the northern parts where Christianity was cradled. And you can see a direct line that shows that Black people were Christian before they became slaves and before the Transatlantic Slave Trade. If we deny that proposition, then we have to buy into the false notions of white superiority that somehow try to teach us how to read the Bible as if we did not know how to read the Bible on our own. Dr. David Daniels, Yale grad, Union Theological grad, bishop in the Church of God in Christ, professor at McCormick Theological Seminary in Chicago, wrote a wonderful article as part of the 1619 exploration, the arrival of the first Dutch slave ship in Jamestown. And one of the things that he argued is that it's very clear from the writings during the time that pastors and priests were writing to the shores here of the colonies asking about their people. So African Christians who were doing the work of evangelization among their own within Africa is clearly on record. So the notion of Christianity being a slave religion, just quite frankly, is not true. And I would draw your attention to part of what he has talked about, that coming to North America from Africa were some of the most Christianized African people. They came from one of the most Christianized regions in Africa, the Empire of the Congo. And so you have persons who were brought here as slaves who were principals and school teachers and court scribes, but they were also churchmen and women, catechists and monarchs and priests and church musicians. And so to start a discussion about the Black church is to first say that Black people before the transatlantic slave trade were already Christian.